Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya. Master Prayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So I'm just reading from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and translation of 35, verse 35 and 36. So 35. O my Lord, O best of the givers of benediction, if you will kindly grant me the benediction that I desire, then please let me not die from any of the living entities created by you. So here commentary, Acharya is writing, enough of glorification, please accept a boon. Hiranyakashipu thought, if I ask to be immortal, it will be impossible to fulfill, since he will say that he also will die at the end of the Mahakalpa. Thus he will refuse my request. Therefore, by intelligence, I will ask for a boon that will result in me being immortal. Let me not die from all beings created by Brahma. Then he is thinking, who else is there? So, next 36 translation. Grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence during the daytime or at night, not by any weapon or something other than a weapon. So this is what he is translated for this Anyasmat. Anyasmat, he is translating it as something other than a weapon, nor on the ground or in the sky, nor by man or animal. Commentary, death should happen naturally. If all places and times are excluded for death, the natural death will also be excluded. The forms of Vishnu, such as Varaha, are all created by Brahma. But Vishnu is without form. So this is his thought process. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining, the forms of Vishnu, such as Varaha, are all created by Brahma. So he already asked previously, saying that I should not die by any of the living entities created by you. But Vishnu is without form. This is what he's thinking. He's thinking forms of Vishnu such as Vara are all created by Brahma because they're all Maya, right? They have material bodies. And Vishnu himself is without form. If he without form throws his chakra or other weapons, my boon will be useless. This is my worry. Thus, let me not be destroyed by any weapon or anything else. Though the words inside and outside cover all places, Vishnu could think of some particular loophole related to the meaning of the two words. Thus, particular places must also be included. Not on earth refers to all the seven lower planets down to Patala. Not in sky refers to all the upper planets. All these are excluded. Fearing other beings like Daksha, he then says that all men should be excluded as well. Okay, so here it's pretty clear actually. There's no confusion as to what, but somehow this is a bit confusing. This particular, so we don't know whether what was Prabhupada's intent, or are we understanding it right, or whatever. So we will continue. So we are clear that in the first boon only he didn't want any jivas created by Brahma to kill him, and in the second he asked protection from all other kinds of weapons and places, all other means and places. And why not anything else? Because he thought anyway Varaha and all these Vishnu forms are all anyway created by Brahma, and Vishnu is formless. So Vishnu can throw all these weapons. So I want to protect myself from any kind of weapon or any kind of device that he can use to kill me. And places, from places perspective, residences inside, outside, day or night. And this one is also um, not on earth, right? Not on ground nor in sky. So day, night, and also ground and sky, meaning not inside earth up to Patala, not upper planets, nobody from upper planet. You should not die anywhere there. And also uh, nor by any weapon, or he was afraid of Daksha, so he said human being, right? Like this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. And finally, in the last verse, last part of the this one, grant me that I not meet death from any entity, living or non-living. So he, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also saying, let me not die by non-living beings or living beings. Devata, demons, snakes, then mm, yeah. So let me not have any rival, like Brahma is saying, let me not have any rival, let me not be defeated in battle. Um, and I should have lordship over all living beings. And presiding deities, protectors of the planets, Lokapalakas. Mm, and give me all glories obtained by that position. Furthermore, give me the mystic powers attained by long austerities and practice of yoga, for these cannot be lost at any time. So first one was protection. There are three parts of his boon. First one was not to die from anybody created by Brahma. Second is places and weapons, etc. Uh, not to be killed by and some certain higher jivas like Daksha, etc. And the third one is what he again he's saying, let me not die by from any living entity, living, non-living, devatas, demons, snakes. Though he's already covered it before, but he's just re-emphasizing. Uh, mm, yeah, so he had talked about more living beings and weapons. Now he's saying any non-living being also should not. It might not be a weapon, like for example a stone, should not kill me, like that. So he protects himself from everything, and also from specifically again from demigods, demons, snakes, etc., whom he thought could be powerful enough to kill him. Um, so like this, he took protection from everybody, and then he said, "Okay, give me sole lordship. So I want to take your place. That's what this is. I want to take up your place, and also I want all the austerities, all the mystic powers coming from austerities, and the glories of obtaining a position like yours." So Lord Brahma obtained his supreme position due to long austerities and penances. Hiranyakashipu wanted a similar position. The ordinary powers achieved by mystic yoga, austerities, and other processes are sometimes vanquished, but the powers obtained by the mercy of the Lord are never vanquished. Hiranyakashipu therefore wanted a benediction that would never be vanquished. Okay, so this is our understanding. So we will continue. श्रीनारद उवाच एवं मृतः शतधृतिर्हिरण्यकशिपोरथ प्रादात्ततपसा प्रीतो वरांस्तस्य सुदुर्लभान्. Adamuni continued, Lord Brahma was very much satisfied by Hiranyakashipu's austerities, which were difficult to perform. See, Brahma was actually satisfied by his austerities. Though his intent was demoniac, this is the problem with Devatas, right? They are obliged based on, certain rules by which they have to abide, but not Vishnu. Brahma, Shiva, we see them, being obliged and then giving benedictions which are so dangerous. In fact, Narasimha Dev actually subsequently somewhat chastises Lord Brahma, saying that don't ever give such a boon again. We'll see that in the later, after killing Hiranyakashipu and after, before he, mm, uh, becomes unmanifest from uh, after all the demigods, everybody offered prayers, then Prahlad offered prayers, then before the Lord leaves, then he tells Brahma saying that don't give such a benediction. Therefore, when solicited for benedictions, he indeed granted them, although they are rarely to be achieved, such a difficult boon, but he granted. And like Brahma had already said, if he says Tathastu, then Vishnu will make it happen because he's such a critical person in the whole creation. Sri Brahma Vacha tate me durlabah pumsam yan vrinishye varan mama tathapi vitaram yanga varan yadyapi durlabhan. Lord Brahma said, O Hiranyakashipu, these benedictions for which you have asked are difficult to obtain for most men. Nonetheless, O my son, I shall grant you them, although they are generally not available. Material benedictions are not always exactly worthy of being called benedictions. If one possesses more and more, a benediction itself may become a curse. For just as achieving material opulence in this material world requires great strength and endeavor, maintaining it also requires great endeavor. Lord Brahma informed Hiranyakashipu that although he was ready to offer him whatever he had asked, the result of the benedictions would be very difficult for Hiranyakashipu to maintain. Nonetheless, since Brahma had promised, he wanted to grant all the benedictions asked. The word Durlabhan indicates that one should not take benedictions one cannot enjoy peacefully. Okay, so this also for devotees, we have a lesson here. Don't ask Krishna for anything specific except for devotional service, except for things connected with devotional service. Somebody was like, I already told, one devotee was talking to me and he said that somehow I had a very low salary. So I prayed to Krishna saying that I should immediately reach some X, some amount of money as my salary. Then what happened? He got it. But then after getting it, he lost a job and he was out of job for a year and he went into a lot of struggle. So better not ask. Better just leave it to Krishna. Don't ask any material, anything material. And so, yesterday I was talking to, I want to tell, right? So Shashank Prabhu and Ashwini Mataji. So Ashwini Mataji was not well. She was diagnosed with chicken pox and some treatment, etc. And they had called me, and then at the end of the call, Mataji, who was actually the one who was affected, uh, she said that please pray so that we can get the strength to deal with this. She didn't say please pray so that I get cured. And I said this is that means that you pass the test. You're passing the test. Right? See, this is an example. I want to glorify those devotees because we should learn. We should not become envious. We should learn. They're all so young in Krishna consciousness. Literally yesterday I had like tears in my eyes, saying that this is what Prabhupada wanted. We want to become these kind of devotees who are not bothered about what is happening around us. In fact, they have been getting hammered, right? Like our father has not been unwell, but still they are like so positively, enthusiastically, and I pray that, they remain strong like that. And I prayed also yesterday. This is what we need to learn. We should not ask for anything material. Just leave it. Have faith in Krishna. Leave it to him. Then Krishna, I'm your servant. Uh, I will go on serving you. I'm sold out to you. You can do whatever you want with me. This is the perfection. I mean, such devotees, there is no doubt if we reach that kind of a stage that no doubt we'll go back to Krishna. No doubt. Right? So we should not ask for any material benedictions. However difficult, however trying the situation may be, we should just pray for strength, pray for direction, pray for becoming more deep, more absorbed, more dependent. That's all. I was very, very happy. Really, this is what we all need to develop. So again, I request others don't become envious. Just sharing their names because they're so young and with a small child, and but still their conviction really brought tears to my eyes. And Krishna will be definitely pleased. So we should develop this. We should develop this. Which is why I want this training to happen earlier on in the lives of devotees so that they don't know anything else. Those devotees who have not heard one kind of language of pure devotional service, which is what Prabhupada speaks in his purports. But unfortunately, they hear Mishra Bhakti, they hear, sense gratification, they hear it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, it's okay to ask Krishna, it's okay to pray for our, better material betterment. When devotees have heard all these things, then they come to hearing only pure devotion, it becomes very difficult for them. So from day one, we should give devotees just this mood of pure devotion and the faith that Krishna will take care. And that's what Prabhupada wanted to create. If not everybody, at least, bunch, uh, small section of devotees also, if they become this, it's very glorious. Not to show off to anybody or to, we don't have to put a name, some placard saying that, I'm this pure devotee, but Krishna will recognize and we will achieve perfection more than anything else. Mm. Actually, I want to just tell one thing, this came to my thought in the morning today. So suddenly, like in the morning, I had a bad cramp in my leg. I keep having it on and off. Uh, and previously, I used to, this is just to say that, in the middle of the pain, what we should remember is that we are going to have a similar pain at the time of death. And the thought that should come to our mind is Krishna. I have to remember Krishna. Okay, I have pain. Let it be. Maybe I will die now, but let me remember Krishna. If even if we have not developed love for Krishna, if we simply have this amount of faith that we remembered Krishna at the time of death, we get qualified to go to him. And what does Krishna do so mercifully? He puts us in Bhauma Vrindavan so that we can develop that love, so that we last amount of whatever little bit contamination is there will go off. We'll get association of his Nitya Siddha, devotees, and we develop love and we go back to Goloka. So practice remembering Krishna in pain. Don't pray for the pain to go away. This pain is going to be there. The pain of leaving this body, the pain of, being separated from people around us. It will be there at the time of death. So we should ask for that. We should ask for that. We should become that much dependent on Krishna. That is why it is good to be like a failure materially. Wherein whatever we do just fails. It's nice because then we know that I'm worthless. And then we completely depend on Krishna, saying that Krishna, okay, if this has to happen, it's up to you. And it's a very secure position because no taking responsibility in the sense not feeling like I have to do this. No, I'm servant, I'm trying. Okay, if it doesn't work, then it's up to Krishna. Right? So peacefully, happily we can render service. So this is very, very important. That thought came to my mind uh, when this benedictions, right? So from there we went. So we should not ask any benedictions. And really we should just, in spite of all our difficulties, problems, happiness, everything, our only mission is to remember Krishna. Something good happened, remember Krishna. Something bad happened, remember Krishna. Something ugly happened, remember Krishna. Because at the end of the day, it's only all this bad and ugly only will happen, right? If our conscience is not great, at the time of death, it will be bad and ugly. But we should remember Krishna. Then our life is successful. So some of these things, please note these down because I'm sure so many things, other things on your mind, etc. You might just forget these. But these are the gems from Prabhupada's books. This is what we have to imbibe in ourselves. And yeah, and sometimes, yeah, in devotee community, some ups and downs will always be there. We should not take it too much too hard. We should not make it, very difficult for ourselves, for others. Just forgive, forget, correct ourselves, move on. Whole idea, this is what we forget in the midst of operational stuff, day-to-day stuff that we go through. Whole idea is to remember Krishna at the time of death. See, we are not talking about love for Krishna because that's exalted state. Now, somebody at that stage, he's not bothered about what's happening around him. Just not bothered, right? And he thinks of himself as servant, everybody else as masters, and wants to serve everybody. That's all. Right? Automatically, in that Trinadapi state, he would have achieved love of Krishna. Right? He's not worried. But for most of us, we are not reached that stage. At least we should remember saying that, okay, whatever ups and downs, whatever good, bad, ugly that we are experiencing in life, maybe purely material, maybe in connection with devotees, whatever it is, we should just remember saying that at the end of the day, all this is just for me to remember Krishna and become a better devotee, become more humble. Mm. So it'll help us a lot. Yeah. So I had 10 years, 10, 12 years of continuous bodily suffering. Right? Krishna has given me some, mercy now. Little bit at least. I don't suffer on a day-to-day basis. But here and there, I'll still have some issues. But the 10 years, 12 years of suffering actually made me dependent on Krishna because I know that nothing I do can help because I tried so many things. Nothing worked. Finally, I had to just wait for his mercy, which then he gave. Right? So similarly, now Krishna has put me into one more big, big test. This temple in Hulima. Then again, it's the same thing. It's way beyond me. It's way beyond me. There's so many issues, so many, you know, uh, like money that has been taken, which has to be repaid. Now it's nothing for me. It's all for Krishna, right? And so we're trying best what needs to be done, in fairness, in dharma. We're trying our best. But that best also is not good enough because it's just way beyond. So again, I've been like thinking about this, saying that okay, one more level of beating, right? So so these things are going to be there. Each of us will have to deal with different kinds of problems, but never ask for any material outcome. Ask for strength, ask for conviction, ask for commitment, ask for sincerity, ask for strength, and all the time remember Krishna. That's all. Right? Then automatically we'll be Krishna conscious. We will not do things that are harmful to others. Mm, and we'll try our best, to be humble and do the right thing. So this is very, very important. Very, very important. Some of these things might look like a deviation from the verse in hand, but just these things come to my mind, when I hear certain things. When I read something in the purport, I get triggered on these lines, and so I speak sometimes. So it will be maybe not completely relevant to the topic on hand, but definitely otherwise relevant. Not something that is of no use for us, but yeah, may not be completely directly relevant to the verse or topic on hand. Okay, so please forgive me, but that's how it works for me. Okay. ततो जगाम भगवान् अमोघानुग्रहो विभुः पूजितो सुरवर्येण स्तूयमान प्रजेश्वरैः. And Lord Brahma, who awards infallible benedictions, departed, being worshipped by the best of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, Asuravarya. Prahlad Maharaj also subsequently calls his father Asuravarya, best amongst demons, and being praised by great sages and saintly persons. So he left, he departed. Lord Brahma departed. एवं लब्धवरो दैत्यो बिभ्रद्धेममयं वपुः भगवत्यकरोद्वेषं भ्रातुर्वधम् अनुस्मरन्. Demon Hiranyakashipu, having thus been blessed by Lord Brahma and having acquired a lustrous golden body, continued to remember the death of his brother and therefore be envious of Lord Vishnu. So, if we remember something not so good that has happened with us, then that's a little bit like, then we'll become envious of devotees. So we have to be very careful. See, dealing with devotees, again, I keep coming back to this, dealing with devotees is very, very sensitive thing. Don't think, always give the benefit of doubt. I always say this, give the benefit of doubt to the other person. Uh, we are not perfect people, right? Sometimes something happens. It's okay. It's okay. We also make mistakes. So similarly, others might make mistakes. So we don't keep thinking about this and then We will have all bad thoughts, then we'll become envious. Why this person is like this? And we'll blaspheme. By chance, that devotee is a pure devotee and is more dearer to Krishna than we are, then we are in trouble. So better not think negative, bad about other devotees. Safer, safer. And again, like I keep saying that, certain people in authorities have to take care of all this, but as practicing devotees, we don't have to mm, worry about all this. A demoniac person, in spite of acquiring all the opulences possible to obtain in this universe, continues to be envious of the Supreme Lord. See, continues to be envious. You know how they are envious? By wanting to acquire more opulence, which is not never going to be used for Krishna. So they're competing. I want to become richer than Krishna. It's implied. It's not like they're saying that, but that's what they want to become. Somebody who's the richest person in the world will be thinking, okay, I can be richer than God. Till that person reaches that stage, he will always be thinking, okay, I'll be richer than this person, I'll be richer than that person. Eventually, when they come there, they'll say, okay, I'll become richer than God, or I'll be more powerful than God. Demoniac, envious nature. स विजित्य दिशः सर्वा लोकांश्चत्रीन् महासुरः देवासुरमनुष्येन्द्र गन्धर्व गरुडोरगान् गरुड उरगान् सिद्धचारणविद्याध्रान् ऋषीन् पितृपतीन् मनून् यक्षरक्षपिशाचेशान् प्रेतभूतपतीन् अपि सर्वसत्त्वपतीन् जित्वा वशम् आनीय विश्वजित् जहारलोकपालानां स्थानानि सह तेजसा. So we can see all the important people in the universe. So he won over everybody. Vijitya. He got victory. Disha Sarva, all directions. Three Loka. Mahasuraha, Deva, Sura, Manushya, Indra, Gandharva, Garuda, Uraga, Siddha, Charana, Vidyadhara, Rishi, Pitru, Patin, Manu, Yaksha, Raksha, Pishacha, Preta, Bhutapati Napi, Sarva Satvapati in Jitva. So long list. Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. Indeed, the great demon conquered all the planets in the three worlds, including the planets of the human beings, the Gandharvas, Garudas, great serpents, which is Uragas, Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, saints, Yamaraja also. Pitrpatin, Yamaraja, Manu, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Pishacha, and their masters, Bhutapati, and the masters of ghosts and Bhutas. Where is that? Raksha, Pishacha, Ishan, which is leaders of Pishacha Loka, Preta, Bhutapati, masters of Pretas and Bhutas. Ghosts and Bhutas. Bhutas are also ghosts, but anyway. He defeated the rulers of all the other planets where there are living entities and brought them under his control. Conquering the abodes of all, he seized their power and influence. So literally, he conquered the three worlds. He conquered the entire universe. The word Garuda in this verse indicates that there are planets of great birds like Garuda. Similarly, the word Uraga indicates that of enormous serpents. Such a description of the various planets of the universe may challenge modern scientists who think that all planets but this Earth are vacant. The scientists claim to have launched excursions to the moon where they have found no living entities, but only big craters full of dust and stone. Although, in fact, the moon is so brilliant that it acts like the sun in illuminating the entire universe at night. Of course, it is not possible to convince modern scientists of the Vedic information about the universe. Nonetheless, we are not very much impressed by the words of scientists who say that all other planets are vacant, and that only Earth is full of living entities. So Prabhupada says it's fine. Whatever they want to do, let them do, but this is the fact. देवोद्यानश्रियाजुष्टं मध्यास्ते स्म त्रिपिष्टपं महेन्द्रभवनं साक्षान् निर्मितं विश्वकर्मणा त्रैलोक्यलक्ष्म्या आयतनम् अध्युवासाखिलर्थिमत्. Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven with its famous Nandana garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palace of Indra, the king of the heaven. The palace had been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishwakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune of the entire universe resided there. Mm. From this description, it appears that all the heavenly planets of the upper planetary system are thousands upon thousands of times more opulent than the lower planetary systems in which we live. Vishwakarma, the famous heavenly architect, is known as the constructor of many wonderful buildings in the upper planets, where there are not only beautiful buildings but also many opulent gardens and parks, which are described as Nandana Devodhyana gardens, quite fit to be enjoyed by the demigods. This description of the upper planetary system and its opulence is to be understood from authoritative scriptures like the Vedic literatures. Telescopes and the other imperfect instruments of scientists are inadequate for evaluating the upper planetary system. Although such instruments are needed because the vision of the so-called scientists is imperfect, the instruments themselves are also imperfect. Therefore, the upper planets cannot be appraised by imperfect men using imperfect man-made instruments. Simple. Direct information received from Vedic literature, however, is perfect. We therefore cannot accept the statement that there are no opulent residences on planets other than this Earth. Hmm. Of course, we should also understand that this description of our planet, upper planetary system is nothing compared to the description of Vaikuntha. Hmm. So this is just a speck or a drop of that opulence. यत्र विद्रुमसोपाना महामारकता भुवः यत्र कुड्यानि वैदूर्यस्तम्भपङ्क्तयः यत्र चित्रवितानानि पद्मरागासनानि च पयः फेननिभाः शय्या मुक्तादामपरिच्छदाः कूजद्भिर्नूपुरैर्देव्यः शब्दयन्त्य इतस्ततः रत्नस्थलीषु पश्यन्ति सुदतीः सुन्दरं मखमुखं तस्मिन् महेन्द्रभवने महाबलो महामना निर्जितलोक एकराट् प्रेमेभिवन्द्याङ्घ्रियुग्ध सुरादिभिः प्रतापितैर्ऊर्जितचण्डशासनः. The steps of King Indra's residence, for those who want to know what the heavenly opulence is like. Steps of King Indra's residence were made of coral. Steps, coral. The floor was bedecked with invaluable emeralds. Walls were of crystal, columns of Vaidurya stone. The wonderful canopies were beautifully decorated. Seats were bedecked with rubies. The silk bedding, as white as foam, was decorated with pearls. If somebody thinks they're rich, this is the standard of richness. The ladies of the palace, who were blessed with beautiful teeth and the most wonderfully beautiful faces, walked here and there in the palace, their ankle bells tinkling melodiously, and saw their own beautiful reflections in the gems. No need of mirror. The demigods, however, being very much oppressed, had to bow down and offer obeisances at the feet of Hiranyakashipu, who chastised the demigods very severely and for no reason. And just imagine, they became like ordinary beings, like servants, being chastised for no reason. Thus, Hiranyakashipu lived in the palace and severely ruled everyone. Severely. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful in the heavenly planets that all demigods except Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu were forced to engage in his service. Indeed, they were afraid of being severely punished if they disobeyed him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has compared Hiranyakashipu to Maharaja Vena, who was also atheistic and scornful of the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas. Yet, Maharaja Vena was afraid of some of the great sages such as Bhrigu, whereas Hiranyakashipu ruled in such a way that everyone feared him but Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. Hiranyakashipu was so alert against being burnt to ashes by anger of great sages like Bhrigu that by dint of austerity he surpassed their power. So that he doesn't have to be afraid of them. He surpassed their power and placed even them under his subordination. It appears that even in the higher planetary systems to which people are promoted by pious activities, disturbances are created by asuras like Hiranyakashipus. No one in the three worlds can live in peace and prosperity without disturbance. So don't hope to go to Swarga and think that, okay, things are going to be all chill. No. We got Hiranyakashipu, we got followers of Hiranyakashipu, we got asuras, troubling devatas, and all the denizens of heavenly planets. Okay. तमङ्गमत्तं मुदुनोरुगन्धिना विवृत्तताम्राक्षम् अशेषधिष्ण्यपाः उपासतोपायनपाणिभिर्विना त्रिभिस्तपो योगबलौ जशां पदम्. Oh, my dear king, Hiranyakashipu was always drunk. What was he drinking? Strong smelling wines and liquors. We know such demons even on earth. And therefore his coppery eyes, so one who keeps drinking, there'll be like these coppery eyes were always rolling. Nonetheless, because he had powerfully executed great austerities in mystic yoga, although he was abominable, all but the three principal demigods personally worshipped him to please him by bringing him various presentations with their own hands. In Skanda Purana, there's description. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that everyone but the three principal demigods engaged in his service. Advacharya says, Aditya Vasavo Rudras Trividhahi Surayataha. There are three kinds of demigods, Adityas, Vasus, and Rudras, beneath whom are the other demigods, like the Maruts and Sadhyas. Therefore, all the demigods are called Tripishtapa. The same word three applies to Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, under them, Maruts, Sadhyas, everybody. So everybody came under his control and everybody worshipped him by giving him presentations with their own hands, not that they sent it through somebody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu, in previous verse, it is told that the three principal demigods, in that even Vishnu is also called as demigods, Prabhu, here.
Yeah, I mean,
Brahma, Shiva, and then Lord Vishnu.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe just because they're Gunavataras. But yeah, we understand the position, right? So it's okay. Some of these things we should not get too worked up. Right? It's okay.
Okay,
Whatever
Prabhu.
it is. Prabhupada is written for whatever. We know what is the position of Vishnu. We know even Brahma and Shiva, though Shiva is also considered demigod, but Shiva is also the greatest Vaishnava. So yeah, we understand the philosophy. So at that time we should not get too get stuck with certain words here and there. It is difficult like that. There will be so many issues that we might not completely understand. Okay. Jagur Mahendra Sanamojasa Sthitam Vishwavasustumbur Asmadadayaha Gandharva Siddha Rishayostu Vanmuhur Vidyadharas Chapsarasas Chapandava. Raja Yudhishthira, descendant of Pandu, by dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu being situated on the throne of King Indra, controlled the inhabitants of all the other planets. The two Gandharvas, Vishwa, Vasu, and Tumburu, I myself, and the Vidyadharas, Apsaras, sages all offered prayers to him again and again, just to glorify him. The Asuras sometimes become so powerful that they can engage even Narada Muni and similar devotees in their service. This does not mean that Narada was subordinate to Hiranyakashipu. Sometimes, however, it so happens in this material world that great personalities, even great devotees, can also be controlled by the Asuras. Yeah, like Prahlad Maharaj. Being worshipped by sacrifices offered with great gifts by those who strictly follow the principles of Varna and Ashrama, Hiranyakashipu, instead of offering shares of the oblations to the demigods, accepted them himself. So when there is Indraya Swaha, Hiranyakashipu said, give it to me. So he was just taking all of it. He was not giving it to them. As if in fear of Hiranyakashipu, the planet Earth, which consists of 7 islands, delivered food grains without being plowed. Does it resemble cows like the Surabhi of the spiritual world or the Kama Dugha of heaven? Meaning they give milk without being, without somebody trying to extract milk from them, without being milked. The earth yielded sufficient food grains, the cows supplied abundant milk, and outer space was beautifully decorated with wonderful phenomena. All because of being afraid of fear of Hiranyakashipu, nothing else. By the flowing of their waves, the various oceans of the universe, along with their tributaries, the rivers, which are compared to their wives, supplied various kinds of gems and jewels for Hiranyakashipu's use. These oceans were the oceans of the 7 oceans: salt water, sugarcane juice, wine, clarified butter, milk, yogurt, and sweet water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The waters of the seas and oceans of this planet of which we have experience are salty, but other planets within the universe contain oceans of all these. So this we know around Jambudvipa is salt water. Then there are other dvipas, seven coverings or seven liquids surrounding them, seven oceans. The rivers are figuratively described as wives of the oceans and seas because they glide down to the oceans and seas as tributaries. Modern scientists attempt excursions to other planets, but they have no information of how many different types of oceans and seas there are within the universe. Yeah. As far as we are concerned, we follow the authority of Vyasadeva and Shukadeva Goswami. These authorities differ from modern scientists who conclude from their imperfect sensual experience that only this planet is inhabited by living beings, whereas the other planets are all vacant or full of dust. Okay, one second. How many more verses are there? 13. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, actually, one verse we'll do and then close. The valleys between the mountains became fields of pleasure for Hiranyakashipu, by whose influence all the trees and planets produce fruits and flowers profusely in all seasons. The qualities of pouring water, drying, and burning, which are all qualities of the three departmental heads of the universe, namely Indra, Vayu, Agni, were all directed by Hiranyakashipu alone without assistance from the demigod. So he became so powerful. So Indra is in charge of water, Vayu controls the air and dries up the water, demigod fire, Agni controls fire. But Hiranyakashipu, by dint of his austere performance of mystic yoga, became so powerful that he alone took charge of everything without assistance from demigods. See how powerful he became. Still, he was not happy, is what we are going to discuss tomorrow. So he literally had everything under his control. No end to his sense gratification, no end to his power, no end to his position, no end to his influence, everything. Still, he was not happy. And the reason for that is going to be described in the next verse, which we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so I'll stop here. If there are any questions, comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. So, couple of questions. One is, so Hiranyak, I mean, say, let's say he has asked for all the bones, okay, hypothetically speaking. So, I mean, let's say he lived with all the bones. I mean, is the time is not gonna be the ultimate killer of Hiranyakashipu, Prabhu? Let's say with all those bones, no one has touched. Even like I know the entire universe was suffering under his rule. But let's say if Lord has left him alone, will time would have killed him, Prabhu, eventually? Because Krishna says, I mean, the Kala or time is the ultimate destroyer of everything in this material world. So
Yeah,
would
but
it have been done that way? I mean, I'm just asking, if no one was able to touch him.
Yeah, I will also speculate on this because it's not mentioned. But see, the thing is that he, because he got a boon not to die, right? He literally got a boon for no natural death. He got a boon.
Okay, so that means he has no influence of time on him. Is that correct, Prabhu?
Yeah. I mean, like the way he's doing things, what influence? He's just influencing everything. Says here, no, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur here said, right? Like no natural death also.
Okay,
Natural death will also be excluded.
Okay,
Right?
so but I mean our understanding is that Prabhu, in this material world, even Brahma has influence of time, right? He has specific lifespan, even though it's long, right?
Yeah, but Brahma is
But how come Hiranyakasipu has become getting a boon from Lord Brahma, that he has become above Brahma? How come he has become I mean, not influenced by time is what my doubt is, Prabhu.
No, so simple way to understand is Brahma is under the he's agreeable to the system of Krishna, which is saying that you have all these powers, but still you have to work under me and my rules, right? So Brahma is super powerful, but he's okay with that, and so he's accepted that his life is 100 years in his own calculation, and he has these powers, etc. He's okay with that, right? He's okay with the Lord's framework that within which he has to live, but and so he accepts the influence of time willingly, right? Brahma accepts the influence of time. Hiranyakashipu is not accepting. He's a demon.
Yeah, but not
He-
accepting is my ignorance, no, Prabhu. I mean, in the sense that
yeah,
it is
yeah,
naturally or under the influence of time. I
yeah.
mean,
But that's
me not
Hiranyakashipu, no?
accepting a law, that doesn't mean that I don't come under the purview of the law.
But that's
I'm just
Hiranyakashipu, right? That's Hiranyakashipu,
okay,
and he went to the most powerful person in the universe,
okay,
right?
okay.
He's a very smart guy, right? He went to the most
Mm-hmm.
powerful universe person who gave him
Mm-hmm.
something which even he, I mean, literally he didn't have in that sense, because he knew that
Mm,
Lord Vishnu is going to intervene, right? See, which is why these demons, they want to overturn or they want to overrule the Lord's system,
mm,
so to speak, right? And so
okay.
obviously Vishnu will intervene because Vishnu doesn't want his universal order to get disturbed.
Right, right, right.
That is the role of Vishnu as a maintainer, because such people will always be there, such asuras will always be there, right? And they want to make the best out of whatever loopholes that are available in the system. They want to, which is what all people do, right? Politicians and this and that
Yes,
and all
yes. I
that.
mean, yeah,
So at the end of the day, Vishnu, I mean, but they're all small demons, right? But Hiranyakashipu was a big demon, right?
yeah.
And Vishnu allowed him to become such a big demon because he was his servant. No other
Mm.
person could have taken this position. No one else
Yeah,
could have done
because
austerities that was done by Hiranyakashipu, right? Because Lord had, bestowed them with that power to even become the biggest asuras because they were his servants. So, but at the end of the day, all rules are under the control of Vishnu. So he decides, right? So while lower demigods have obligations, but Vishnu has no obligation.
yes.
But from
Okay,
the
so
boons
yeah.
that Hiranyakashipu had asked for, it looked like he could have just remained forever.
Okay, okay, Prabhu. So the second question is, I mean, it is mentioned that Hiranyakashipu was ruling from the planet of Indra.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just wondering, because all the pastimes, in the sense like,
Yeah,
uh, where Lord
great
appeared
question.
is on Earth planet, right? So how
Yeah,
come if he's ruling from Indra's planet, that all the killing of Hiranyakashipu has happened here on earthly planet,
yeah.
Prabhu?
So I heard this because I also had this question. I heard from somebody saying that like there were one is he had multiple ruling places, right? So like
Mm,
he'll once be there, once be here, like this, right? So at this point of time, he's in heaven, um,
mm,
and so and see also some of these descriptions, right? It varies in different kalpas, etc. So one is that he was killed in his heavenly abode, in Indra's abode. The other
mm,
version, so for which we have to read Narasimha Purana. We can't get that from Bhagavata Purana. But I've heard that because all these places are accepted Vedic in Vedic history as places where Hiranyakashipu appeared, right? For example, Ahobalam, right?
mm.
Then there's also there are two places, right, where it is said that Hiranyakashipu was killed. Hiranyakashipu killed something.
Simhachal, Prabhu, is it?
No,
Or
no. There's one more place
uh,
because Ahobalam is not the only place where
mhm.
it's said. I can't, not able to remember. Let me try to figure out. So so it looks like it's
Solinger, Prabhu. Solinger,
huh huh
Solinger, Solinger.
I, I can't hear you.
ಅದು ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ನರಸಿಂಹ temple ಇದೆ.
I'm not able
ಉಗ್ರ
to hear you,
ನರಸಿಂಹ.
Lalita Mataji. Where?
Solinger in Tamil Nadu near
Okay, no,
Madras or something.
no, I don't know. I've heard something, but I'm not able to. That's not the place. But so basically, it can be in different kalpas. It could be variations. It could be some things. Not every
Mm,
detail of all these pastimes are actually described in Bhagavata Purana, right? Which is why, for example, Varaha Purana. Then there is, all these various avatars. Also, some of the important avatars have their own Purana, right? So we have to read those to understand various differences. Um, yeah, so I don't
okay.
know, but it should be true because here it's saying heaven, then but we see places on earth which seem to be the
Yes.
places where. So it seems to be both of them seems to be true. So which means that possibly the only
Okay.
explanation for
Yeah, I
such
mean,
things
yeah.
is different kalpas.
Okay.
Right?
It could be different kalpas, correct, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So in this kalpa, I mean, can we say that it happened here, or are we not sure yet?
No, I mean, I don't think, I'm not an authority on that, so I don't know. I can't comment. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Rohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the text, 13 text, it was saying all
13.
but, yeah, 13.
1,
All
3.
but the three principal demigods. So that means except Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, everybody worshipped him.
Yeah. Oh, in that verse, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
All but.
Where was that? What was I reading?
13th verse.
Oh, in the 7, 4, 13. Okay. Oh, whatever Vamshi Prabhu asked.
Yes.
Yeah, but the three principal demigods. No, everyone but the three principal demigods. No.
So that
These
means
are hyphen. These are the three principal demigods.
Excluding these three demigods, all right?
No. This one, when there is a hyphen, it says the three principal demigods are these three.
It says
everyone
but
but the three principal demigods in brackets, namely Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. Everyone else engaged in his service.
Yes. So but means except, right?
Except the three principal demigods. Who are the three principal demigods? It says hyphen Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. Anyway, it's okay. I mean, these are just sometimes we just some things which don't understand, but we have a more clearer understanding of a topic. We should not get confused. Okay. Anything else? Okay, thank you all for joining. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha, Ananda Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Samveda Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.